Alright, well, we could stop here, but why when we're having so much fun? Let's kill our program, go back to the design menu, and let's make another label box here. Just click anywhere so we can see it. Maybe the color here needs to be something visible. Do it white again. And this label, we're just going to not refer to it, so we don't need to change the name of it. And let's just type in, what is your name? As a question. So this is obviously a prompt that requires a response. And what we'd like to do is, in the toolbox, is to choose a text box. This is different than a label. A label, as the name implies, is simply something that you can that can hold text. This can hold text that the user creates. Okay. So what is your name? Is our text box. We're going to change the name of our text box. The prefix, as you can guess, is txt. And I'm going to call this username. Okay. And the text of the text box you can see is empty. That's the default, which is nice. All right. And what I'd like to do is, once the user types in their name, I'd like for the computer to come back with a hello Chris or hello Susie. And for that we need to have a little label here, a computer label that will hold the response of the computer. So we'll scroll up, we'll name it LBL user welcome. Okay, hit enter. That changes its name, and the text I want it to be empty. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's change the font color, the fore color, to some bright green, say. And then let's make the text be empty. So hitting enter, notice that the label is still there, you just cannot see it. It's important that you remember that this label is called LBL user welcome. A little cumbersome, I guess. I'm sorry about that. Okay. And let's add yet another button. And we'll click on it here. Maybe we'll need to move some things around. Come on. Okay, notice if I highlight there, that little label is still there. I'm going to change the name of my button, clicking just on the button, to BTN enter, and the text of my button to simply enter. So when the user enters their name, we want this little label box right here on the end, this little label rather, to say hello so and so. Okay. So one of the other difficult things about Visual Basic that I found when I was first starting is, where do you put your code? Okay. Well, this is a user-driven environment, which is quite powerful, unlike the microcontroller, which is top-down. So the user can choose to divert any way they want to go. Maybe they want to enter their name, or maybe they want to change the back color first. Well, once the person enters their name, they're going to press the enter button. So the enter button will then is where we need to type our code. We're going to wait for that user to press the enter button, and then the computer will give us a response. Okay. So if we double click on the enter button, it enters the code window again under the click method for that button. And we just want to say, hello so and so. Now, how we do that is, what is it we want to hold the message? Of course, that's the label. And if you forget the name of the label, it's okay. The IntelliSense will call up label user welcome. And if you forget what property of user welcome you want, just simply type the period and scroll down. It's pretty smart. It already tells you that, or guesses that you want it to be text. And of course we do, so press the space bar. Equals. Now I'm going to type a hello from the computer. I'm going to close that string with a little space. I'm going to then concatenate that string with the ampersand. Okay, concatenate that string to the string that the user typed into that text box. So hello txt username. Okay, you can double click it. Type the txt username. Now, this is where a lot of students will stop. The txt username is not the name of the user. The txt username is the object that's on the form that will contain the name of the user once the user types it in. And once the user types it in, it will be saved under the text property. So to really complete this, you want txt username dot text. Okay, so let's run that and see what happens. So what is your name? I'm going to type in Chris. I then press the enter key and the computer says hello Chris. Alright, kind of cool. We'll stop it. I want to go and add a little bit. We don't have to do this, of course, but I'd like to, just to show you some if-then statements. Right? So, for example, if, and I'm assuming that you, like my students, have some programming experience. They have been programming in Basic X, which is subset compatible with Visual Basic. So the commands that they have learned for that language should work here. So if the text username dot text equals nothing, in other words, if they just press the enter key without typing in their name, and nothing, that's the null string, which is quote, quote, no spaces, quote, quote. Okay, if the text username equals nothing, then, okay, then I want to beep. So this is a useful little piece of code that that Microsoft has built in, so that if something bad happens or if you want to alert the user, this is a great little debugging code. So it will just bing if you don't type anything in. Okay. Otherwise, or else, we want to then move that piece of code that we just typed into the if-then statement. Okay. Notice how nice this user interface is. Excuse me for that. Notice how nice this user interface is, and that it indents. Oh, sorry about that again. How it indents nicely. Okay. So now if we run it, type enter, hello Chris. Now let's say if we come up here and delete Chris again, press the enter button, the program sends back a beep indicating that we have not typed anything in.